Hi, great how you're here, and welcome to my series taking a look at the unique mechanics of each of the races in Warhammer 2. Last time, we examined the Skaven and looked at several mods that add new mechanics. Today, we look at the first race pack that Warhammer 2 received, the Tomb Kings, which was also one of the races I played on the tabletop back around 6th edition. I feel the Tomb Kings are in a very good place at the moment, even though the individual legendary lords have no major unique mechanics. This is due to all of the legendary lords being added in the race pack, and none having come from any Lord Pack DLC. So in this video, we will examine the current race mechanics and propose a few mechanics for the individual lords that may give their campaign some additional flavour. Our first race-wide mechanic is the Books of Nagash, where there are 8 books spread throughout the lands, in settlements and in the possession of rogue armies, that the player needs to defeat in order to claim the books. Each book provides a range of benefits to your faction and bring you closer to victory. This simple mechanic encourages the player to explore the campaign map and provides decent rewards for doing so. It could, however, be improved with some small additions. It would be nice if the books, once collected, could be studied by your Leash Priests to perhaps improve the power of your spells in battle, and to unlock new spells that are available to higher level magic users. Now the second mechanic, the Day of Awakening, allows the recruitment of units at no cost and no upkeep, but is offset by limiting unit capacity, which can be increased by constructing additional buildings. The number of armies is also limited and can be increased through technologies from some Books of Nagash and by directly purchasing additional slots from the Mortuary Cult. Our third mechanic is the Mortuary Cult, where the player can spend resources on the creation of magic items or to awaken regiments of renown for recruitment into your armies. The Mortuary Cult contains 6 different tabs, each with several different items to purchase. This is a good mechanic with good bonuses and decisions to be made, which was also added to the dwarves in their last update. One addition I would make is an additional tab that can unlock increased fortifications for settlements, or to augment the different constructs available to the Tomb Kings. Now the Tomb Kings also have a battle mechanic called the Realm of Souls, which sees the very essence of Tomb King units that fall in battle fill the Realm of Souls. At specific thresholds, the entire Tomb King army have a short burst of regeneration, and at the final threshold, the player is able to summon a unit of Shushabti anywhere on the battlefield. This is a nice addition to the Tomb Kings, but I would like to see individual legendary lords get unique boosts at each of the 3 thresholds, much like the different greenskin lords each have their individual WoW bonuses. The unit summoned could also be changed from Ushabti to a unit more in line with the individual lord's lore, or it could be left up to the player, with it being tied to a new technology or building chain. What do you think of the current Tomb King mechanics, and what would you change given the opportunity? Please leave your remarks in the comments below. Now, let's move on to the individual legendary lords, starting with He Who Does Not Serve, Setra. He has the longest name in the game, and also has the Imperishable effect, which provides growth plus 10, Purple Order plus 2, and construction time -1 for settlement buildings. Setra has no unique mechanics, so we'll propose a new one for him. Master Charioteer allows for the upgrade of chariots and cavalry units. There are 18 upgrades available, which are unlocked as the player's Leash Priests grow in power. For each 2 character levels gained among the player's Leash Priests, a new unit upgrade is made available, which can be spent to upgrade any one of 5 different units: Skeleton Horsemen, Skeleton Horse Archers, Nagaharan Horsemen, Chariots, and Chariot Archers. As the player upgrades the different units, Setra is also upgraded, with each unit being related to a different stat. For example, upgrading Skeleton Horsemen will also increase Setra's speed, whereas upgrading Chariots may increase Setra's charge bonus. The player can choose to spend the upgrades evenly across all units, or to spend all upgrades on a single unit type. This gives Setra the ability to have effective and highly mobile armies in contrast to other Tomb Kings, and could make the dream of a feasible chariot army far more likely. Our second Lord is Khatep, who has the Leash Lord of Khemri effect, which provides 2 canopic jars per turn, increased movement range of 5% for all armies, increased casualty replenishment rate of 10%, along with a penalty of 40 diplomatic points with the Dark Elf factions. For a new Lord mechanic, we will have Khatep searching the lands for scrolls of ancient power. Each scroll adds to Khatep's knowledge, which is displayed on a progress bar that unlocks new upgrades at each tier, along with additional army abilities at certain tiers. The incantation of the Scarab is unlocked at tier 2 and provides the player with a new army ability that unleashes a swarm of scarabs on an enemy unit that causes minor damage and lowers the leadership and melee attack of the unit for a short period. This ability can only be used once per battle. The incantation of the Stalk is unlocked at tier 4 and provides the player with the ability to net an enemy unit in place for a short period. This ability can only be used once per battle. The incantation of the Blade is unlocked at tier 6 and provides the player with the ability to reduce enemy units' melee defense, armor, and melee attack for a short period. This ability can only be used once per battle. The fourth incantation, the incantation of the Hawk, is unlocked at tier 8 and provides an army ability that causes magical damage in an area for a short period. This ability, once again, can only be used once per battle. The final incantation is the incantation of Death and is unlocked at tier 10 and provides an army ability that causes major magical damage to all units in a large area of effect over a short period. This ability can only be used once per battle. To allow Khatep to increase the power and number of uses of the incantations, there are several settlements that allow for the building of Leash Lord tombs. Each tomb can increase the duration, damage, or even number of uses of one of the different incantations. Our third legendary lord is Khalida, who has the Warrior Queen of Labaris effect, which provides an additional 20% ammo to all armies and an increased 20 diplomatic points for relations with other Tomb King factions. Khalida has no unique mechanic, so we will give her a new mechanic called the Serpent's Vision, which allows her to upgrade the combat abilities of Necropolis Knights, and I'm going to butcher this one, Sepulchral Stalkers. Each of these unit types have 3 upgrades available, which can be purchased by spending canopic jars. Along with the unit upgrades, there is a progress bar that fills as upgrades are purchased, and unlocks campaign bonuses and 2 different campaign abilities. The first of these abilities is the Blessing of the Moonbird, which doubles the growth of all settlements and the casualty replenishment for all armies for 5 turns. This effect can be used once every 20 turns, once it has been unlocked. The second ability is the Blessing of the Serpent Cult, which provides all units across all armies with poison damage for a period of 5 turns, and can be used once every 20 turns after it has been unlocked. Now, Khalida will also receive additional bonuses to her combat prowess when any blessing is active, gaining large bonuses to melee attack, weapon damage, armor piercing, and speed. The final legendary lord is Arkhan, who has the Mortarch effects, which grant the ability to recruit some vampire count units, an additional 10 winds of magic power, additional public order up to a maximum of plus 20 based on the amount of corruption, and along with a 20-point bonus to diplomatic relations with vampire counts and a 50-point penalty to diplomatic relations with other Tomb King factions. Now we will give Arkhan a mechanic that unlocks additional abilities for Arkhan and his vampire-themed units in battle. There are 8 abilities available, which are unlocked as Arkhan wins a certain number of battles or occupies a certain number of settlements. Some abilities will act as spells with multiple uses, such as the ability to summon giant bat swarms or to resurrect fallen units as ethereal units, while other abilities are more passive and may boost the combat abilities or resilience of units as the battle progresses. In order to help differentiate Arkhan from the other Tomb King factions, the upper tiers of the incantations will also allow Arkhan limited access to more powerful vampire units such as Vargheists, Khan Wraiths, and Mortis Engines. Well, there we have an overview of the mechanics of the Tomb Kings, with some proposed mechanics for the individual legendary lords. If anyone has any mechanics they would like to see added to the Tomb Kings, then please comment below and leave a like or subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Next time, we'll take a look at the second race pack that was added in Game 2, the Vampire Coast. Until then, thanks for joining me, and I'll hopefully see you next time.